Ahrefs domain rating. What is it? What is it useful for? And what is it not useful for? My name is Frank. I'm the founder of SagaPixel. We are an SEO agency and long-term Ahrefs subscribers. Just being an SEO, I hear a lot of talk about domain rating, in particular in the context of link building, but also in the context of discussions about whether a website has a chance to rank for certain targeted keywords or not. I also do hear about it being discussed in context of authority and, how did you get such a high domain rating for such a website? And it's clear that these people don't actually understand what this number is. Ahrefs domain rating is a measure of the strength of a website's overall backlink profile. It's measured on a logarithmic scale from 0 to 100, which means that as the number gets higher, it gets a lot harder to continue increasing the number. In other words, the strength of a backlink profile between like a 70 and the 71 is likely to be greater than a 2 and a 12, for example. So how is domain rating calculated? Ahrefs basically counts all of the followed links that are going to your website and calculates the number of followed links that are going to those websites, so forth and so on, and they calculate domain rating based on that. Again, they don't count no follow links. Multiple links from the same website will not increase your domain rating. As those websites continue to link out to other websites from the page that they've linked from, your domain rating could possibly decrease. And as those pages and those domains earn more links, your website may actually see its domain rating tick up. The key item to underline here, though, is that this is all driven by links. A website that has a high domain rating has a lot of links pointed at it. This has nothing really to do with the amount of traffic. It has absolutely nothing to do with what Google actually thinks about your website. And increasing and decreasing this number in and of itself really has no value. Now, this doesn't mean that Ahrefs domain rating score cannot be used for anything. The main way that we use it at SagaPixel is to try to gauge, let's say from 1,000 feet level, how difficult it will be to rank for a certain keyword that we wish to target. In other words, if we look at a keyword and we see that page 1, or actually pages 1 to 3, all seem to be dominated by websites with domain ratings a lot higher than our clients, that's sometimes an indicator that this is going to be too difficult to rank for. But not always. You need to actually look at the articles, first understand if these articles indeed are highly relevant to the keyword that you're looking at, and ultimately whether you have the possibility of creating a better piece of content than they have. But if they've already covered the topic extremely thoroughly and it is highly relevant to the keyword that you're looking at, and there's a 30-point gap in the domain rating between those websites and yours, odds are you're better off moving on. The other thing that we can sometimes maybe use it for is in link building. If we're going to do a cold outreach campaign, we typically will apply filters in Pitchbox that will filter out all of the websites that have a domain rating below 15, for example. This does not necessarily mean that every website that we reach out to with, let's say, a domain rating 25 and up is going to be able to really have any value for us. We found that these numbers can often be manipulated through Web 2.0 links and other kind of spammy link building tactics that may fool Ahrefs domain rating score. Definitely do not fool Google at all. So if you're using the domain rating during link building, just be sure to take it with a grain of salt. It could be a first metric. We should also be looking at the amount of traffic, the types of websites that it's linking to, the type of content that it typically has, and how relevant it is to what you do. In other words, if it has a high domain rating, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's valuable for your website. The important thing to learn out of all of this is that having or increasing your domain rating in and of itself is not going to really do anything. It's not going to help your website, and it's not a reflection of what Google necessarily thinks about your website. It has nothing to do with the quality of your website. It is only a measurement of the links pointed at your website, which is a function of the links that are pointed to those websites and so forth and so on. If this video was helpful, please consider giving it a like. And if there are any use cases for using domain rating that I didn't cover, outside of gauging the difficulty of a SERP or the potential value of a backlink, please let me know.